Hey guys, your man wee Mark, and who's this?
Hello.
This is Mr. Coastrider Scotland. It's Bruce, and the wee man has been invited in. There's Bruce's.
This is the man cave.
This is the man cave. Look at this. So we'll just do a quick video, guys. This is just a wee video, so we're coming right around, and we'll just look at this.
Willys Jeep, Willys MB.
And there's some, you've all seen this in Bruce's videos with his artifacts. Fantastic. There's a gas mask. I don't think he's got a hot water bottle for your man to go out in the Jeep. But look at that. Oh, is that not a man cave and a half? And he's got... I like this rubber matting on the floor. I wouldn't mind it for my garage, but...
Buy it on eBay.
But it's leaking like a sieve. I think I saved the limp. So, there's your man Bruce.
You see she has a little bit of a weep. Not many, you'll not find a Willys Jeep that doesn't drop a little bit of oil.
What age is she, Bruce?
So this is a post-World War II one. So a lot of Americans don't realise that their Willys MBs were remanufactured in World War II, after World War II in France under licence. So this is what they call an M201. So that's exactly the same as a World War II Jeep, except...
So what size of engine would this be?
So that's a 2.25 or a 134 cube in American terms. So this is the same engine that they put into what they call the CJ Jeeps in 1946, 47. So it's a flathead side valve, 60 horsepower. The difference to the World War II ones is this has a gear driven camshaft, not a chain drive camshaft. The French, going into NATO, went to 24 volts. This one for some reason has got a 12 volt car alternator on it. That's a toolbox there. And they've got a French Solex carburetor. Most people actually put them on World War II Jeeps because they run a lot better with them. And the wartime Jeep, the air filter's here. So you've got massive big fan. These engines run really cold. This time of year in the UK, it only runs at 140 on the gauge. Because they're designed for obviously the lot of weight in them, ammunition carrying, 4 guys, etc. And then so you've got an oil bath air filter as well. Everything's reusable, washable. Fuel filter, oil filter. Really simple. Points ignition, no CDI. You can get pointless ignitions for them. So everything for a Willys MB bolts straight onto this. So the French were they started off with 22,000 wartime Jeeps at the end of World War II. They piled them up outside Paris, and the Hotchkiss car company got the contract to rebuild them for the French army. The French had nothing at the end of World War II.
Wow. So
they had to rely on the American-made equipment mostly. So they rebuilt 22,000 to put them into French forces, into their army and navy and stuff, and then an airfields RAF, French Royal Air Force. And then once some of the parts started getting scarce, they started remanufacturing stuff. And this one, my mate's one, has a lot of genuine World War II parts, the wings and stuff. This one is nearly all manufactured in France. And it's stuff like on the axles they have WOF, which is Willys of France, and you'll find all the stamps all over it. But there is also stuff like, now where are we? There's an F script on the mirror, so that's off a Ford. So Hotchkiss Jeeps tend to be Willys MBs and Ford GPWs and Hotchkiss parts. So we actually call them Hotchpotches.
How long have you owned this for?
4 years now.
4 years.
Sorry, chuck that in the car wash bucket.
Oh, and so what else? They do 65 mile an hour flat out,
Wow,
which is actually quite a bit faster than a Series 1 Land Rover. these
And
are
today's driver is?
we've got a bit of Rudolph going on there with Christmas decoration. No, they're good fun. So I'm talk you through. I'll come around the other side. I'll talk you through. So you can see inside these things. Put him in the back. I'll put him up there. Safe. These are tiny. Now the average height in World War II was 5'7". So you can see how small they are. So you've got 3 gears. You've got reverse where your normal first is. So you've got first, second, third.
So what are these levers?
So you're in 2-wheel drive, rear wheel drive. Put that forward, it goes into 4-wheel drive. Put that one back and it goes into low ratio. Now this has all that. The only thing it doesn't have is differential locks like your modern 4x4s have. There's no seat belts, there's no airbags, there's nothing extra. Now they come with blackout lights. You can't switch the lights on without pressing a button in, so you're not in a situation where you accidentally put your lights on. So if you click the switch 1 click, it gives you back brake lights for when you're on the road.
Can you do that again?
You put the key in and put the ignition on the lights. See that? Is that them?
Yeah, look at that, guys.
And then put it on again. That's your full lights. You've got high and low on the floor like all old cars have. And then if you click them, switch them off and go the other way, you have blackout lights, and then you also have convoy lights.
Wow.
So what the blackout light does is it's just the tiniest little beam that points just in front, and then basically it's just so they can't be seen by aircraft.
I did notice that sort of pointing down the way.
So there's the original.
Very clever, isn't it?
There's the original data plate with the French. Now, if you bought a World War II Jeep, you're talking 20,000-30,000 pound, even more now. Most of the Hotchkisses 20,000 max, 22, 23 max. However, they're actually a rarer Jeep than a wartime Willys Jeep for 2 reasons. One is there was only 27,000 manufactured and rebuilt by the Hotchkiss car company from the rebuilt World War II ones, then the reproduced ones. And but most of them are more original in World War II. Most World War II Jeeps don't have. They've got replacement tubs that came from the Philippines, a lot of the stuff. But the quality of the reproduced parts now has never been better because of the popularity in them. And yeah, so your starter motor used to be on the floor in World War II. It's now up on the dash. Now a strange fact, well not a strange fact, but a fact that a lot of folk don't know is nearly all the Jeeps used in Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers are Hotchkiss Jeeps. And if you watch those films, or the mini-series, you'll hear them starting. They're not a 6-volt start. There's one that they use, and you can tell it's a 6-volt, or if you hear it, and then boom, away they go. Well, this thing, you'll hear it starting. Choke. You'll get smoked out, so I'll just start it and stop it. So you can see how quicker it turns over like a modern car. It'll start, it just needs a bit of petrol. What happens is the petrol empties out the carb. So there is a plunger underneath the carburetor.
Do you have to use super unleaded or just normal?
You can use E10, but I try and buy E5. It just, it's one less thing to worry about going wrong.
There's a fair amount of pressure out that exhaust there.
It's got a high compression. So there's your oil pressure up already. And then your temperature will come up to about 140. But you can hear that fan.
Great sound, isn't it?
So they've got a unique noise. When you hear one of these come on the road with the differential, especially when it's a 4-wheel drive, the whine of the diffs and that big fan there is, and the bar grip tyres, they're called NDTs, non-directional tread. The wartime, so we're smoked out now.
We are, aren't we?
So I've just put new glass in. Also, you can see the original World War II wiper blades were hand operated.
Funky donkey.
So what we can do as well, I'll just roll her round here. You can come in and have a look at this side. So there's nothing on this Jeep that it doesn't need. I mean, it's a bare essential, but everything is so clever designed. Just watch you trip on that. So you'll see, you've got your start at the back. You've got your petrol can. That's a 1945 petrol can. And there's a film coming soon on history jerry cans, because I've actually got a German one down there. That's a genuine 1940 German can, which the British copied, and that's the American one, which is actually it's got actually a bit of design flaw, but that's going to be a film feature. That's a canvas bucket, which most of them have, and this one would have had an radio in it, and it's what they call, if you look on the bonnets of Jeeps, they've got an S, and that stands for suppressed.
Okay.
So everywhere you look on a Jeep, you'll see everything's earthed out. So
That's like the lights that we...
So you'll see there everything's earthed out.
Yeah.
And that is so for less static with the radios. Another clever thing you can do is you would take the canvas cover, which probably rolled up flat down, put it over the hood, and turn the lights on, switch them on, work on the engines at night in the
Great
dark,
stuff,
undetected. Just
So
simple,
so clever.
simple but really, really clever.
What's this? Is that the horn?
That's your horn, yeah. That's the only thing that's a wee bit temperamental on it. I think the button's a bit worn. So there's your fuel pump down here. And that pumps the fuel up before you start. If you did that, if it's been sitting. There should be an oil can sits in here as well for putting oil in your your distributor and stuff, your rotor arm.
Fantastic, isn't it?
It's also got, it's got a hand crank in the back, so you can hand start it. So it can start with a flat battery as well. So in here, oh, it's quite tight. Hold on. Used to do this one now, and in the back. That's not coming up.
Doesn't want to come. I would just leave it.
I'll pull that up. Underneath, you see, you've got.
Oh, there we go.
So you've got your pump.
So the light's not great, guys. But
This is a bit of wood that you just put in here, and then you can put stuff underneath. That's actually a modern towing arm. And then your starter handle's in behind. You've got two toolboxes, and these would have the jack and spare fan belt, stuff like that. The ammo boxes I've got on, I've just got my stove in it and brew kit, and that one's just got like additive for oil and stuff. So you sit on the fuel tank.
I was going to wait to say
20
that. Is that
litres. So the Germans were told just to aim for the driver. They either kill him or hit the tank. So you'll also, if you
and you end up flame grilled.
yeah, and if you run the engine dry of water, it was estimated it would run for 6 to 8 minutes before it seized. So if you're in a battle area, you should be able to get out okay.
Get out, okay.
Out of the danger area. That's their idea. So you'll see on the side the Pioneer tools. So you've got your shovel and these are very, very clever. So what you have is a strap system. So basically, the tighter you pull this, the tighter it makes this in.
I think Glenn would love this, wouldn't he?
We'll maybe get him out one day. So if you look at this, This is how clever all this is. A lot of them would lose the shovels and axes when they were in war as such. This one needs oiled. So all you do is that, you hit that down, there's your axe ready to come out. Only a Poland's axe will fit into one of these, because I've actually got a Stanley axe but it won't work. But very, very clever. And they don't rattle or anything.
Everything is made to fit, and there's a place, a proper place for it, isn't there?
So the four handles.
I'm lost for words, guys. It's just immense.
The four handles at the back.
Not fork handles.
No, these, and then that's for. So basically, 4 guys can lift the back end of this off the ground. So if it's stuck cross axle to that, 4 guys can just lift it. And the way they worked on them in the field. So the manual.
There's the handle there, guy. Look.
The manual has 2 basically maintenance. It's got field and workshop. So in the field, if the gearbox went and they had to put a gearbox in, they basically take 2 spare Jeep wheels, throw them on the ground, take the windscreen, fold it down, tip the Jeep on its side, and then just go in, take the gearbox out, throw it back in.
Amazing.
There's a manual up there. I'd like to see this. 2 guys would be basically given a Jeep, and it'd be in a box, a wooden crate. And this is a reproduction of the original. There you go, 1/4 ton 4x4 model MB, and there's all the US numbers. So that's what the number of the chassis that are laying on the bonnets. And then it basically starts off with all the oil stuff and everything, obviously. Unloading instructions, how to take it out the box and build it. It's just like a big mechanical set. It's so simple how to drive it. The speeds everything does in each gear.
Just amazing.
It's just really simple. And
but simple is always.
got the pintle tow hook as well.
Simple is always best, as they say.
And these are tie downs. Because remember, these were built to put in gliders, Horsa gliders and stuff. So they were built. That's how they had to build them to a 1/4 ton for the weight they'd be. Wartime they'd have split wheels. So you deflate the tyre, you take the nuts out on the inside of the wheel, be 8, and the rim splits in half. So you take your puncture inner tube out, repair it, or put another inner tube in and pump it up, bolt it back together.
Wow.
These got changed post World War II, because as these get old, the split wheels became very dangerous. So people would be out off-roading these things 20 years after they were made, and they go to pump up a tyre, put a compressor on it, and then rim would split in half, bang, injury. So yeah, so obviously plastic, the canvas cover unclips, rolls up, the frames that it holds are on the wing nuts, all folds down, and that's when you'll see them on the films made like that. Windscreen flat, that's how I like to drive it. It's like if you ride a motorbike, it's exactly the same. I would say this is more dangerous than a motorbike, because there's things you're going to hit. At least on a bike you're flung off and you can hopefully choose a hedge. What else can I show you about it? So there's a circle here on the chassis underneath with 4 holes, and that's for your gun pintle, and they'd have a 30 caliber machine gun on there, or they'd have one on the side. Not everyone had that. Some were machine gun Jeeps set up like that, some were radio Jeeps, some were ambulance Jeeps. Most of them were used for driving generals and captains and that about.
Wow.
So, and the famous one with the Monty in one, and there's a flag on the back, the photo, and John at Churnside's got that flag.
Wow.
So the driver had kept the flag. Obviously they went somewhere different, they put a different flag on it. He just put that other flag in his pocket and somehow
Really?
brought it home from the war. And John down the road, he's got 1945 one, can send you the link to put in your film. He's been working on his for 20 years restoring it. It was a pile of rust. It's running now. He's taking it to Normandy next year. Rusty gold, he calls it.
Quite right.
And his brother, over the last 10 years, and himself, collected signatures of dozens of World War II veterans. And all the canvas seats have all been signed. He's got Vera Lynn signature on his glove box. He's got Dam Busters on one of these, Battle of Britain pilots on one. He's got all the surviving 101st guys of Band of Brothers for 2001 or 2. After Band of Brothers came out, they were all in France for the launch of it and stuff. He's got all their signatures. I mean, put a price on a Jeep like that, you can't. But this is...
I'm kind of lost for words here, guys. This is just a piece of history that is just...
I think this is actually... These are more...
This is better with the naked eye than it is seeing it in the videos, guys, honestly.
There's actually more of a legacy with the post-World War II Jeeps because they took on that sort of... I mean, it's been described as the vehicle that won the war. I mean, folk would say, no, it's not. It's the Sherman tanks, mass-produced, and General Motors in general. It's mass production that won the war, wasn't it? But the Jeep's the most iconic. And there's quite a few interesting things. Like the Americans only got a third of the Jeeps that were produced out of 600,000 that were made between the two contractors were Willys Overland and Ford. And 300,000 of them, or a third of them, sorry, went to Britain. Another third of them went to Russia, and a lot of them were obviously lost on both of those places by the convoys. A lot of them were lost in the convoys. I mean, if you got a box, they put 4 boxes together or 6 boxes together. How many Jeeps would they fit onto these convoy ships? You know, hundreds of them. So in one ship going down could lose so much. The original...
It's a work of art, really, in a nutshell.
The original fire extinguishers in there, which is what you'll see in all old vehicles, especially in Britain, all your old British telecom and engine, electric board things, it's the old war sort of things. But aye.
Okay. Right,
And
guys.
it's so much fun.
Puts a smile on his. Look at that, the man's smiling. Right, guys, I think we'll call that quits because we're into like 23 minutes now. Can't believe it. What a history lesson. So this is Bruce and his fantastic Jeep. So, guys, enjoy.
Thanks
Enjoy.
again.
See you, tongue tied. See you soon. Take care. Merry Christmas to you all.